This is the Community Game Jam, one of the biggest game jams up to date. No, trust me, I checked. It's literally one of the biggest ones out there. Over 6,000 people has entered, and over 1,000 games were made. And here's the process of my game, Reality Check. Reality Check is a 2D platformer circling around this purple fox. Cat? Dog? Whatever. I never really thought of a species for this character, okay? The player is somehow entered this sort of state where his mind doesn't really follow reality the way it should. And somehow he comes across an old man who has also encountered this state. Get it? Because they both have to be in the state in order to communicate with each other. I mean, they can, but it's gonna be way harder to do so. This old man has studied the state for 17 years, and he sends the player on to find these things to return their minds back to their original state. I don't mean to brag, but out of 1,058 entries, I'm in 178th place for this stuff. Alright, before we start the video, I would like to say a few things first. First, please be aware that I mostly recorded the art for the game. If I recorded the gameplay even a bit, it would actually be a blessing, and I'll probably put it in the video somewhere. And now that I look at the script, I was at least 12 hours off. But I don't want to change the script, man. But I'm still accurate, I know that for sure. And I'll link everyone that has also made this game in the description and their social media. I believe that's it. Let's get into the video. The first day. The planning stage was actually a bit of fun. We made a few jokes here and there and expressed ourselves in more ways than I could ever imagine. Here's the planning notes for the entire game. Yes, we used Milanote. We were about to use GitHub too, but Unity Teams was way more convenient at the moment. I'm not going to talk about this for much longer, so I'm just going to give you a chance to pause now if you want to take a look at all the notes we had thought of. Here are a few things that we had to cut from the project, because it was either just plain hard to do at our skill level, or we just didn't have enough time to do any of them, like the dash system, or the enemy-looking NPC. I was planning on making the dude a merchant, but later on I realized that we had to scrap idea, or replace it with something else. That old man! And this was the time when we started developing the game. We went ahead and made the character move, jump, and the level 1 stage that you played. I can't believe that one person listened to what I just said. Thus, ending the first day. The second day. This was the time when things got loads harder on us. One of our team members had to quit development for the game for personal reasons, but I don't want to explain, which left us with me and Ollie. I started drawing the character's animations, starting with the idle animation. Even though I knew what the character would look like, I just wanted to see if I would commit to the design. I'm just going to display the concept for the character right here. Actually, the first design is what we went with. Thankfully, I knew what art style I wanted to use. I tried it before. It actually worked pretty well. Took me 30 minutes to do. It didn't take as much time as the other art styles I knew right now, including pixel art. Yes, pixel art. Then I started implementing the animations into the game, and off screen, Ollie made a main menu and an impressive amount of level design. Well, for the most popular one right now, thus ending the second day. The third day. I started working on the throwing and running animations this day, but I believe the running animation was the hardest one to do. But the throwing animation both tested my patience and my sanity in drawing. I believe this is one of the only 2 days that I clocked out early. Now that I had the throwing animation made, I simply put it into the game. And Ollie made a simple bullet off screen. I believe on day 2, I believe? But I just refined it to suit the animation. I also forgot to mention that Ollie created the enemies off screen. Personally, I was glad that he did. If I did it myself, I knew I would struggle on it somehow, like the other AI that I tried to make before. What went wrong? Gave me more time to design one of the enemies. Also, I took the liberty to make the tile map off screen, thus ending the 3rd day. The 4th day. We went ahead and made a health system off camera, and I wanted to make some health pickups to accompany you in the game. But I had a few other things to do first, like tile mapping. So I drew a few pictures for it and made a few effects for it. But that's all I've done. We didn't put it into the game. Dang it! The recordings were corrupted. But I do remember that we made the dialogue system that day. Oh my goodness. And the 4th day right here. The 5th day. I forgot to mention that we had a health system at least a day back, but I just went ahead and made a few animations where the player gets hurt or even dead in that day. I also went ahead and made some jumping and falling animations as well that day and implemented it into the animator controller. And after drawing every frame of animation and everything that I had to deal with, the animator controller was actually the most interesting. You'd have to be so precise with it. And I believe for the rest of the day, I refined the tile mapping and finally made the boss level. And that was personally the best day of my life as a game developer. Making my first functioning AI, along with Dolly. Thus, ending the 5th day. The final day. We spent the rest of the time polishing the game off screen, working on the story a bit, rewriting it to make it more kid friendly. And I made the animations for the shooting anime, which is only one, and in a style that I personally don't like as much than just flat on frame by frame animation. Other than that, I can't really remember what else I've done, but we're done here. And for day 7, it's day 6. I had to stay up till 4 in the morning to finish the game and upload it to itch.io. 11 hours before the deadline. I know good and well if I slept that day, I would have missed the deadline. Thus, ending the final day. And that's about it, guys. Hope you liked the video as much as I did making this game. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more awesome content like this. I'm gonna start making some speed paints in the future, maybe in like a week maybe, in case if you're interested. But until next time, guys, I'll see you later.